the best of the week on Relevant Radio.
You know, one of the things you said, I watched some interviews that you've done about Maria's story, and one of the things that you said that was so powerful to me, I think it was on CBS News, was that you don't just miss Maria, you miss who you are in her presence. Can you unpack that a little bit? Like, what do you think it was about Maria and about her story that drew the best out in the people around her?
Yeah, I think it's something that's probably indigenous to people that are saintly people. Maria just had this incredible, she was highly emotionally intelligent, but she had more than that. She had this ability from a very early age to look past the brokenness and the idiosyncrasies and, you know, the things that sometimes get in our way of seeing the divine in people and connecting with that divine in them. And not only connecting with it, but bringing it out. She just had this ability to make you the best version of yourself and become really who God created you to be in her presence. And it was a unique ability that she had her whole life. And some way mystically, she still has that impact on people.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So she was diagnosed at 16 with the inoperable brain tumor, but reportedly told people, no matter the circumstances of my life, my mission and purpose remain the same: to know, love, and serve God. I have two daughters. As her father,
You there?
I'm sorry. No, I'm here. I'm just trying to gather myself for a second. What was it like to hear Maria, your teenage daughter, articulate that kind of clarity and hope in the face of a diagnosis that ultimately ended up being terminal?
Well, I think you just hit the word right on the head. It was hope. When what was known to the world offered Maria no hope, she infinitely transitioned over to the infinite and unknowable of God. Maria not only believed in God, she taught us the difference between belief and trust. And that is exactly 2 weeks into her diagnosis. She was sitting on her bed, and I asked her, "How you doing, pal?" And she said, "Dad, regardless of the circumstances of my life, my mission and purpose remains the same. It's to know, love, and serve God in this world." And then she looked at me, and Maria had this really neat fierceness about her at times. And she said, "Dad, my emotions will rise and fall, but my faith isn't an emotion. It's a commitment. And I will choose not to despair. I will choose hope." As time went on, her final written words in her journal were "Think Hope." And these weren't a slogan for her. It was not just optimism. This was a declaration. It was a resolve. It was sort of Maria's creed. It was a disposition of her heart, mind, and soul that was built on the certainty of God's promise of eternal joy. She not only believed, but she trusted. And then she went on as one of the doctors that walked with her in her final 20 months. She wrote a masterpiece of a life, because she chose not to cling to life. She chose to spend it. And, we were so blessed, and that Maria kept incredible journals her whole life. One of them that we discovered when she passed away was she started writing it when she was 11, and her first journal entry was "God is merciful." And her last journal entry in that one was "Think Hope." And so she left behind a guidebook that basically, now I can sum up 4 ingredients of a hope-filled life. In this world of despair, we're living at a time where we're at war. There's a spiritual battle going on for our hearts, our minds, and our souls, and for the hearts, minds, and souls of our children. It's a battlefield. And Maria somehow, with a terminal illness, lived a life of joy and of hope. And when you break it down, there were 4 main ingredients. One is that Maria understood that the ultimate in human dignity, that the ultimate in free will, is that we get to control our attitude over those things over which we have no control. And so Maria chose to spend her life in self-transcendent service to other people. Maria chose gratitude over anger. She chose purpose over victimhood, and she chose hope over despair. Number 2 is that in this world of mistaken identities, where some people say they don't even know the difference between a man and a woman, Maria, with all of her temporal skills, class president, star athlete, #1 student, great Irish dancer, with all of these skills, when they were eroded from her, she never lost the essence of who she was. And she would tell you over and over again, my only identity that matters is that I am a child of God. And she clung to that through that time. So she knew who she was. Maria knew why she was born. Again, the Walking Baltimore Catechism, right? To know, love, and serve God. That never changed. It doesn't change with a diagnosis. And she knew what she valued. She valued faith, family, friends, freedom. And she valued truth, beauty, and goodness. And those transcendental values were the rudders that helped her to navigate through the turbulent waters of a brain tumor.
That was the Best of the Week on Relevant Radio. The best way to listen to the Best of the Week is on the Relevant Radio app, free and always free. Download and share the #1 free Catholic app today in the App Store.